There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound Art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about Sound Art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, your art never sounded so good.
From way down south, we make our way all the way up to the northeast of the U.S. and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Brooklyn, Michigan, and the Michigan International Speedway for tonight's running of the Two Girls and a Leaf 150. This is the OMSRL XFinity Series, sponsored by Tucson Sound Art. My name is Olamempo, and I'll be bringing you all 75 laps of action here tonight as we get set to go racing once again for this Tuesday night series. I have to say, what an absolute barn burner of a way to kick off the season just 1 week ago, when Michael Kenner, of course, took the race win over at the Daytona International Speedway in dramatic fashion, running out of fuel on the last lap, managed to maintain his lead and pick up the win, scoring in the process maximum points. So as we look at our driver standings, he will now find himself at the top of the boards, 12 points ahead of Brendan Jenks. But of course, as you can see, still very, very close after only one race. And I would have a feeling we're going to be seeing some pretty big mix-ups here in this field come Michigan. You look over at the team standings. TI Racing was the team that came out on top, so they are already set to start going after Badger Racing's team championship crown that they currently hold after last season. So we'll see if TI Race will be able to maintain that momentum coming on over into tonight's race. You do have yourself currently set on the course about 30 cars, so about the same number of drivers that you had just 1 week ago, trying to throw their way around this circuit to get themselves sorted for what should be an absolutely fantastic session of qualifying here today. And we'll look first to the likes of Nate Brody, who I believe has just finished up his qualifying laps, and you've got others currently in the mix, including the likes of Logan Hamilton, currently sitting 12th fastest and trying to see if he can't put himself a little bit further up towards the front end of the field, currently now 14th, and that is now, we'll make that actually 15th, so that is the second slowest of the 16 drivers that have already set times so far today, as Spencer Ray goes 6th fastest, and Logan Hamilton sitting 18th. Where will he find himself as he crosses start finish? All the way up in P number 6 for the number 12 Toyota Supra. So good run there for Logan Hamilton as he finds himself up near the front of this thing. Michael Kenner is also out on the races circuit, currently coming to the conclusion of his first flying lap on the on this qualifying session. That's good enough for P12. And of course, Kenner is going to be working very, very hard here to try to see if he can get himself put up into another decent position so we can try to defend his points lead entering tonight's race. Hitting speeds of 190 miles an hour. That is about the same speeds that you hit down the long straightaways at Daytona International Speedway, but of course without any of the draft here at Michigan. All the way down to the apron, trying to see if he can get better than 14th, and I think he has done, but not by much. Only good enough for 12th. Of course, super speedway races do tend to be a little bit more wild cards, as Rucci is taking a little bit of a break along the inside wall. I believe Jack Bolch has just finished up his qualifying effort, and in fact, he has. Anthony Mussatti, though, currently on the move as he goes third fastest in his opening lap. On board with the number 49 car out of Fremont, Indiana. Rounding turn numbers 3 and 4. We'll see what this will be for Moose as he comes across start-finish line out of turn number 4. Up through the miles an hour, 180, 185, 188 at the line. Is that going to be an improvement? I don't believe that was, and he will stay third fastest. Only 18 seconds are now left on the clock as the last of the drivers getting themselves sorted. I believe Justin Wilson will be the last driver that might have a shot, but he is not going to be able to get a time in. So with that, it does appear as though we will be having ourselves your grid fully set for tonight's Two Girls and a Leaf 150 from the Michigan International Speedway. And with that, why don't we take a run down trackside, and we'll take a look at your Tucson Sound Art starting grid as we get set to go racing here tonight. It is going to be the likes of Nate Brody on pole position with Jack Bolch beside him on the front row. Only 7 thousandths of a second off with Anthony Mussatti in third. Matt Rucci will start fourth with Brad Pringer in fifth. Robert Peterson is sixth. Got Grant Peterson in seventh. Ryan Dingler is eighth. Logan Hamilton ninth. Spencer Ray 10th. Colby Wells and Matthew Welzenbach rounding out the top 12. Moving on down through the order, Kyle Munson and Hunter Thrower are 13th and 14th, with Matt Cherry in 15th, Michael Kenner 16th, Kevin Cordall is 17th, Brandon Jenks is 18th, Sean Deal is 19th, Jacob Noyes rounds out the top 20. From there in the field, you will have the likes of Barry Morton, Nathaniel Ames, Kyle Green, Jason Green, and wrapping out the 30-car field here tonight will be Frank Flores, Carson Hill, Sean Kaiser, Justin Wilson, Robert Pattengale, and Brandon Alphin. And just like that, one by one, the drivers start to roll out of pit road. It is a TI 1-2 with Nate Brody and Jack Bolch going to be lined up side by side on the front row. Of course, while this track might not have a whole lot in the way of draft packs like you might see at Daytona. When I say that, I mean you might not see drivers trying to open up second lanes. It's going to be a lot easier to fan things out. You will still be seeing teammates trying to work with each other. So TI 1-2, Badger Racing 3 and 4. Could make for a very, very entertaining battle then throughout the field, coming on down into the opening couple of corners. Still waiting on the last of the drivers to leave pit road. Brandon Alphin did not make the call. He will be starting this race from pit road, and these guys are going to have to scramble because while they're just entering turn 1, that pace car is getting sent to enter turns 3 and 4. For the most part, all drivers are gridded on up behind the iRacing pace car. So as we exit turn number 4, want to thank everybody for once again taking the time to join us on what will end up being a broadcast here on Thursday night from Tuesday's Xfinity Series race from the OMSRL, sponsored by Tucson Sound Art. In the hands of the iRacing stars, we enter the restart zone. Jack Bolch takes us to the green. Out of turn number 4, Nate Brody leads the way as we hit start finish for the second time tonight. And so far, the TI-12 pulling away. You got drivers still fanning it out too wide. A wee bit deeper in the field, but it looks like for the good portion of this field, they want to go single file for the time being. There's Hunter Thrower in a big gaggle of cars. He's caught up with the likes of Matt Cherry, Spencer Ray, and more. Look out for Ray as he goes all the way down onto the apron. The 54 going to give him a shot to the back end, so Matt Cherry wants to move as the go-spinning number 6 Ford Mustang runs that bottom lane. You've got the number 8 car up on top, and somebody's going to pit road. Nate Brody, your pole sitter, is into the pits, and I think that would be a jump start penalty for Nate Brody as he will enter pit road. That is an absolute shame there for Nate Brody. We'll take a look at the replay here. I'm curious if we can see where he actually jumped the start. You have to wait until the iRacing starter gives you clearance to go, and we'll get a look at this here. And he did. The iRacing this was made very clear in the latest build updates. When the iRacing starter, or on the initial start here with those Geico restart zones, you have to wait for the iRacing starter. Only on subsequent restarts is that leader's discretion. He went before the green flag dropped, netting him a drive-through penalty, and that is going to ruin Nate Brody's opening stage. Drivers fanning out too wide all the way back in this field, and it is still right around Spencer Ray, where everything is very tight. Ray's up on the bottom. Look at Brendan Jenks up top. Sean Deal trying to open up a third lane, while Kevin Cordall is more than content to just sit back and relax at the Tire Pros number 55 Chevrolet. This is so far really the only side-by-side battles you've got going on throughout this field. Just about everybody else is already broken away and is just sitting single file for the time being, as you can see up in front. Has been a very clean opening start to this race, all things considered, as you see Jacob Noy is also in the mix of this, really running up by the wall, trying to see if he can't figure something out up on the outside line. But so far, it is going to be a little bit more challenging for Noyes if he wants to establish that third lane. It's really not ideal early in the run. You have to wait until the tires really start to kick in before you can realistically make something happen up on the top shelf. Although all things said, he is going to take the battle to Kyle Green down on the low side, but it looks like Green might be able to fend him off. And the number 18 Supra doesn't look, will he get clear? Not quite. No, he's still hanging in on the top end. We've also got Kevin Cordall trying to close up to Brendan Jenks and Hunter Thrower. This will be down to the turn number 1, as well as that Thrower looking to get around Sean Deal as he pushes up from the bottom. Of course, just like the season opener at Daytona, you do have 2 stages. And the stage break this time around will be coming at lap number 25, exactly 1/3 distance into this race. Check in on the guys a little bit further up the field. There's Ryan Dingler. In the KCMG Chevrolet Camaro as Robert Pattengale pushes up from the bottom end, and Pattengale will rejoin the racing circuit. It's worth noting there was a good chunk of drivers that made a very early pit stop. That included Nathaniel Ames, Frank Flores, Robert Pattengale. So all of the Shake and Bake crew had come on down into pit road. It was really tight on fuel at the end of Daytona, and it looks like it might be tight on fuel here as well, and some drivers have opted to make the stop early. Logan Hamilton going underneath Badger Racing's 52 of Grant Peterson. And that will net Hamilton 5th place as he now tries to go after Brad Prenger in the four-way battle for 4th place out on the racetrack. You can see them also trying to close up on Anthony Bussati just up the road as well as Bussati enters the picture, started to drop down a little bit. One car clipping the grass there down to the inside. That was one of the TI Racing mates, and I believe that might have been Nate Brody. In fact, it was not. It was actually Jack Bulch. Oh, trouble up in front! Flores has gotten turned, and Frank Flores slides down, slams the inside wall, and the caution flag is out. Kyle Green has got into this. There's been a huge pileup somewhere up on the racetrack as Kyle Green absolutely clobbered Frank Flores down on the bottom of the racetrack. Cordall was in there, I saw as well. Sean Deal had gotten into it, so a good number of drivers out of this race early. We'll take a look at what happened to Frank Flores first. Just pushed up into the wall and got hooked by the TI Racing driver, and he went slamming into the inside wall. And then there comes Kyle Green with a full head of steam. Deal clipped the access road. Cordall got into that as well. What on earth happened out there exiting turn number 2? Look back at this one here as this was exiting turn 2. Who got hooked here? Oh, Sean Deal got loose and might have got turned by Kevin Cordall, and Kyle Green was just an innocent bystander in that whole mess. From the air, this will show it. Oh, he did get some help. Kevin Cordall did get in him, and I think Brendan Jenks got a piece of that as well, and that is a huge shot to Frank Flores. Man, oh man, that is a wild, wild ride as the field is into pit road. Matt Rucci now with the lead will lead them on in. You see the whole field cycling down into the lane. Nathaniel Ames is the one driver to stay out, and he will inherit the race lead as a result as Rucci is out of the lane, and he'll maintain the race lead. Holy cow, what a violent ride for a lot of drivers in that field. Now I'm going to get a look here, see if we can't get a ride on board with Kyle Green, who was obviously collected in that whole mess. Hang on, this is going to be a wild ride. Watch Cordall push up. He's going to hook Deal. You see Flores wrecking on the bottom, clips him there, and oh, there was just nothing he could do. What a tremendous hit there for the number 18 Toyota Supra. Holy cow. Now we'll try to get one more look here, this time with Kevin Cordall. You'll see Deal up top. And does Deal check up, or? Oh, he did. He absolutely did. He checked up big time, I think, to avoid hitting the wall. And there's the hit for Flores and Green. And that just kisses the wall, but not too much damage there. So should have a bit of an easier time getting everything sorted. So we are now under the caution for the first time tonight, but lights are out on board the iRacing pace car. We get set to go green flag racing once again, this time by Nathaniel Ames leads, and we'll see what this will mean for the number 28 car as he gets set to do battle up in front. Now, this isn't the first time, believe it or not, that I've seen Ames do this. There was a race that I was actually administrating for this past Friday. Similar situation. I mean, everybody pitted. Ames stayed out. It didn't go so well for him there. Of course, that was a next-gen series. And we were also coming to 5 laps to go. You didn't have over 50 laps left in the race. Several drivers already out of the race cars, including Kyle Green and Frank Flores, and Brandon Alphin still has not taken to the racetrack at all. He remains the one driver that has not logged any laps so far today. Pace car is into pit road, and that will leave it in the hands of Nathaniel Ames. He's got to wait for that Geico restart zone. And we're off. A bad launch, though, for Ames will give advantage. Matt Rucci up on the top shelf, and look out for Jack Bulge wanted to make a move on the inside lane. Peterson's in the middle. Nathaniel Ames is about to get caught in a sucker hole here if he's not careful. Rucci is pulling away up in front. Peterson going to give a, maybe think about giving a bump to Nathaniel Ames down the back straightaway. All the while, the two Badger Racing teammates start to battle it out for third. The good news about these cars is the tire fall off as compared to the next gen cars really is not that much. So you can get away a little bit, staying out. Oh, look out, cars scrambling in the background. Ryan Dingler shoots to the low end as the 23 car of Jack Bulge gets up into the outside wall. And Dingler going to be trying to fend him off here. This could get a little bit hairy here as the field is trying to get around. And now slow 23, we're going to be going 3 wide down in the turn number 1. And will it be 4? Jenks thought about it. It's not going to happen, though. The number 9 car getting a bit crossed up. And I think somebody else might have just gotten into the outside wall back here as well. But actually it looks like that's all been taken care of. So really quickly. Oh, hang on. We are going to go 4 wide. Up there trying to make a move on the inside. I think that was the 81 car. Way in the back, it was Justin Wilson that tried for 4. Wasn't about to happen, though. That was wise there to back off. That absolutely would have ended in catastrophe. Now we will try to get a look with Jack Bulge. This was coming around through turns 1 and 2, and well, it's all been sorted here. We'll have to wait around a little bit here just until we get to turns 1 and 2 here to see what actually happened here. I think Bulge might have just pushed a bit too wide and gotten up and into the outside wall, and sure enough, that's exactly what it was. While that was all going on, look at Michael Kenner. This was just a second ago. Pass for the race lead as somebody else. I think that might have been Peterson from Badger getting out of shape in the back. So last week's winner, Michael Kenner, is now going to be up and in the race lead while Nathaniel Ames and Colby Wells start to scrap it out. This is for P number 6 on the boards while Hamilton tries to pin Jenks up onto the outside lane. There's a lot going on at the moment out there on the racetrack. I'll tell you what, there might not be as much double file racing that we're used to seeing at tracks like Daytona, but it is so much interesting to watch these guys go side by side here. Watching everyone dicing it out left and right, front and center. And Jenks just got by Rucci for second place as well. So solid move for Brandon Jenks. He continues to work his way up to the field. We'll look to some of the midfield battles now. Matt Cherry, Spencer Ray, side by side. Sean Deal is right in the back, and this is where it can be all to play for. Hunter Thrower looks for the inside on Ames. That's for 7th. Is going to get through. Jason Green trying to make it one more, but Thrower's washing up. Green has to back out. And Ames will hang on. Look out as one car into the outside wall. It was Jacob Noyes that hit the wall, and he sent Brad Pringer scrambling. And this, the fight for fourth between Peterson and Hamilton, while they are 3 wide in the background with Sean Deal, Kyle Munson, and Welzenbach with Ray up on top. Peterson's in the thick of this. This is going to get a bit tight. They go 3 wide, 2 rows deep. Under 5 laps to go. Everybody scrambling. Oh, Dio gets hooked. Hanging on to it, and he's going to get that thing saved. What a save there, and they're wrecking. It's a big crash, and Sean Kaiser's in this one. Dingler's in this one. And I do believe that will not be the end of stage number 2. It ends on lap 25, not when the caution comes out. Taking a look at the replay, and that all kicked off. Munson got up into the outside wall, and that kicked off a chain reaction. Munson got into it, then it was Kaiser. I think the 51 might have just managed to escape that one. Holy cow. Just when you think a race can't get much crazier, well, there you go. They'll find a way to make it look that little bit crazier. We'll ride on board here with the number 51 car of Brad Pringer. Coming around through turns 1 and 2. Watch everything kicking off up in front. He's going to scramble to the bottom, and oh, he did get a little piece of it, didn't he? Yeah, just got hooked, it would seem. And now, with Sean Deal. Try to back it up a little bit further to get a proper look at this, as this was coming around through turns 1 and 2. You can see him get on the binders a little bit or lift off, having to compensate for being so low on the banking. Out of the corner, and all of a sudden he's going to get hooked here. And what a job to hang on to that car. Now, this is crucial. A good number of drivers currently in pit road, including Brody, Balch, Musati, Rucci, Prenger, Peterson, Dingler, and more. A lot of these guys were front runners in stage number 1. But you have to also keep in mind here for the time being that stage is ending here in 2 laps. So at this rate, I think it will be Michael Kenner to be a stage 1 winner. But we are under caution for the second time tonight. And we will take a quick step away. And we'll be back with more in the OMSRL XFinity series in just a few moments.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home by combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
The OMSRL XFinity series is brought to you by Tucson SoundArt. Your art never sounded so good. And Two Girls and a Leaf. From the start, Two Girls and a Leaf has been committed to providing top quality products, the best customer care, and fun informational CBD parties. They are proud to be one of the original Marysville, Washington-based CBD-infused product brands that has helped them start the local CBD movement. They stand by the extraordinary benefits and huge potential of everything they offer. Visit twogirlsinaleaf.com to experience the rewards for yourself. Coming around 3 and 4 as we get set to end off stage number 1 on our second caution of the day, and 1 lap to go in stage number 1. Michael Kenner takes us back to the green flag. Now we'll see if they will throw that caution at the end of the stage. I expect that they will. But you see these guys fanning out 3 wide deeper in the background while Michael Kenner is starting to rocket away with the race lead, but they're 3 wide, a couple of rows deep. This is going to get all sorts of... Oh, they're wrecking again! Hamilton gets collected with the noise, and Wilson. And now Michael Kenner gets himself a win. And was that a save and a half or what from Logan Hamilton? But holy cow. We are not even started with this race, and already it's all kicking off here tonight. And I cannot wait for what the rest of this race has to hold. Taking a look at the replay once again. This is what ended stage 1. Noise getting... Oh, it was Wilson that got loose. He clipped Hamilton. Hamilton's going to go for an old 360 slide. Doesn't stop the car. Keeps it rolling. How about that? That is quite something. You don't see a sight like that very often. Well, right on board with Hamilton coming on down. Zakai's already on the bottom as Logan Hamilton up on top. Doyle was down low. Didn't see this one coming. Little bit of damage, but that could have been a heck of a lot worse. Working the wheel and gets it rolling. So 3rd caution, and now stage 1 is officially going to be in the books as Michael Kenner takes the opening stage. He might sacrifice a lot of track position here, but hey, those 10 points can be absolutely invaluable later on down the line. Of course, tonight, Kenner racing alone out of Kenner Baker Racing. His teammate, Jason Baker, not able to make it to the show. But he's showing that he absolutely has the strength to take it to the big teams and really is able to just pull off a lot of excellent moves. And he knows how to keep that car clean. That's how he won the opening stage on the night here. So with stage 1 fully wrapped up, we will see if we can't get a hold of your stage 1 winner, 2nd week in a row. And this time, once again, Michael Kenner taking it to the stage 1 win. And I have to say, you're off to a flying start. Max points last week, and already you're off to a high here tonight as well.
Yeah. I don't think I'm on the right strategy to go for the race win this week, but definitely on a good strategy for stage points. Like, I feel like we could come out of this with a top 10, but just until the next pit stop, I'm definitely going to be struggling on tires. I think I'm definitely going to fall very far back, if not last, then near last. But I feel like I'm on the wrong strategy here if I'm going to try and win. Do you think that maybe the 1 lap, well, not even a lap sprint but when everybody else pit might help you, though, in the long run when it comes to that pit strategy and trying to figure out how that might work out at the 2nd stage here? Possibly. I could definitely go a lap or 2 longer than these guys now. But like I said, the tires, I'm on the same tires I was on at the end of the stage. Save it set for the end. But I feel like I'm just going to lose too much time for the extra lap or 2 that I have with fuel to matter. Well, hopefully we'll be talking to you once again at the end of the night. It's always a pleasure being able to talk to guys that seem to just come out of left field and really steal the thunder from a lot of the big guys out there. Anybody you'd like to shout out before I let you get back to it, Michael? No. All right, sounds like a plan. In that case, best of luck in the rest of the race. Michael Kenner for Michael Kenner from
I'm going to start over. Michael Kenner from Kenner Baking Racing. Try saying that 5 times fast. Doing an excellent job on getting himself a Stage 1 win, but you heard him not terribly confident, but hey, he's shown he's got the ability, and we'll see if he can put it together in stage number 2. Coming to the end of our 3rd caution already on the night. 3 cautions for crashes, and this latest caution doubled as our stage break, although came a little bit prematurely, about half a lap or so earlier than some people might like. Jason Green is up the most spots so far. He's up 23. He's alongside Matthew Welzenbach, leading us back to the green flag. Green jumps up, and Rucci immediately jumps down low. Colby Wells is trying to see if he can't get something sorted as well. Now Wells trying to battle back after a 5-point penalty out of last week, and he joined the likes of Carson Hill and Jacob Noyes as well while that was going on. Cars are scrambling in the background as Spencer Ray got out of shape. Baron Morton went down to the apron. I think Peterson hit the wall, as you can see him slow up on the top shelf. But Nathaniel Ames and Hunter Thrower still going side by side, while Colby Wells goes 3 wide for the lead on both Green and Welzenbach, and he is going to take the race lead, but maybe not for long. Here comes Welzenbach trying to battle back. This is going to get a little bit hectic here down to the turn number 1. As Wells throws it in, but he's going to drift up and just about clips Welzenbach, but it will be the number 31 for Mustang to put himself up on point as they're wrecking behind. Musati's going around with Nathaniel Ames. He's going to hit the inside wall big time, and caution once again out on the Speedway. A lot of these guys just cannot catch a break. We will get another look at what just happened to Anthony Musati coming on down in the turns 1 and 2. Nathaniel Ames was pushing up from the bottom as they exited the corner. Oh, he got a bit loose, and that went up and just hip-checked the 49 and sent him sliding down. This time, though, no other incident involved. And while we're at it, we're going to go aerial view here, and we'll get a look on how Colby Wells managed to make that 3-wide pass with a race lead. Watch this. Welzenbach goes high. Wells goes low. Green's caught in no man's land. Welzenbach pinches Green in, and they end up in a drag race side by side all the way down the front straightaway. But at the end of the day, it was Welzenbach to take the race lead away, and we are now under caution number 4. Drivers coming down into pit road. Throw in there Colby Wells, Rucci, Green, Dingler, and more. Welzenbach, Ames, Wilson staying out, but a lot of drivers, including, I believe, your Stage 1 winner, Michael Kenner, are going to be down and into the lane. Now, this could be the break that Kenner was needing, because this means he's going to be able to get back on cycle with just about everybody else. So there's some good news for Michael Kenner, who's still going to be working hard to try to get himself back up into the mix of things. Still got everybody on the lead lap, save for Kyle Green and Frank Flores. That all came up as a result of this incident that happened really early on in the race. That was Flores going hard at the inside wall, and then Kyle Green came slamming in after Cordall got into Sean Deal. Take a look at what is to come in the coming weeks so far in the OMSRL. We've had 2 very fast tracks so far. We've had Daytona, where we only actually had, I believe, 1 or 2 cautions for crashes, but a lot more than that here tonight. Michigan is where we're currently at over in Brooklyn, but then we swung on over to Bristol, Tennessee for the Thunder Valley 200 at the Bristol Motor Speedway. 200 laps around the last great Coliseum. From there, it'll be an off week before we head on over to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, but it will not be America's home for motorsports at the Oval. It'll be the Roval. Oh, actually, no, excuse me. I am completely looking at this wrong. It will be out on the Oval. And I believe we'll have 2 stages for that race as opposed to what we usually see, including 1 at 45 and 1 at 90. Pace car lights are out. We get set to go green flag racing once again, and it could get interesting here to see how this race could play out. You've got 3 drivers that did not come down to this latest stop to take tires out in front: Welzenbach, Ames, and Wilson. But you've also got 2 very hungry teams in behind, headed up by Matt Rucci and Colby Wells, that want to get through. Once again, pace car enters pit road. And Welzenbach enters the restart zone. We're back to green. Oh, look out for the checkup deeper in the field, but we're back green flag racing from Michigan. Ames did not get going. Rucci will get through in the middle, and you've also got the 98 of Michael Kenner looking to throw 3 out at the bottom as well. Are we going to go 4 wide deeper in the field? I think we will. Yes, we are. 4 wide out of turn number 2. Contact between Dingler. Shoves through rope. Ames goes around. Ray gets into the wall. And we're wrecking again. And that is the big 1.5, as that has got to be half the field at least that got collected. Welzenbach hangs on for the race lead. And yet again, another caution. We will jump back a little ways, and we will once again show you how this whole thing shook up. And we'll slow this one down because there is, pardon the voice crack, there is a lot to unpack in this one. You see them going 4 wide up on the top with the 54 car. This all kicks off, though, when Dingler pushes up in Hunter Thrower. He's going to get into the 54 of Matt Cherry. That collects Ames, Ray, and then there's the number 1. Hamilton got a piece of it. Peterson made hard contact. I think Brendan Jenks might have actually escaped that. Oh, no, he definitely did it. He got hard into the inside wall, while everybody was just wrecking big time behind them. It's not how you want to see a race like this play out. I mean, Daytona went so well, and now it just seems like it's all falling apart. Once again, a look from the air, this time at real speed. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing you can do. And yeah, Logan Hamilton did actually manage to get around that. And you know what? That is worth another look from the number 12's perspective, and we'll get a view of Logan Hamilton right now as we get ourselves sorted. We'll go in car with the number 12 car. Little twitchy there. He sees the wreck developing. Sees one way to go. That's down low and escapes with no damage. How's that for a wreck avoidance? Beautiful stuff there from Logan Hamilton to escape that without much incident. It's a shame we can't get a talk with him. I absolutely would have loved to see what was going on through his head while all of that was going on. Mabrucci finds himself in third, and is that Michael Kenner pushing around Jack Bulch? I think it is. So Kenner having a little bit of fun while under the caution, and hey, fair enough. May as well when we're on number 5. Some of these drivers already doubled up. They want to get going back quickly. Munson, Jenks, both making repeat trips down to pit road. And Spencer Ray, I believe, just got waved around the pace car. Oh, excuse me, no, he just left pit road. My mistake. So Spencer Ray will scramble to catch up with the rest of the field while they are on the back straightaway. And that 31 car is doing good out there to keep himself up at the front of this thing, but of course he hasn't really had a whole lot of actual track time in the lead to be able to get himself sorted. We've now got 3 cars that are out of this race: Dingler, Green, and Flores. Once again, Alphin finding himself down and out. Pace car is off. And Welzenbach, take us to it. Three wide, Bussati up top, Jason Green in the middle, Wilson on the bottom. Matt Rucci is hanging around in third place there while there's still 3 abreast. Oh, look out, and Noise getting into trouble, and that's going to be another caution. You saw the very tail end of that with Noise slamming into the outside wall, and Jacob Noise careening into traffic. We'll once again get a look at Jacob Noise. This is on the back straightaway, and what might have transpired in this one. Push it up. Pattengill's up top, and oh, he just pushed up across his nose. That was an unenforced error, and I have to say, I think that one might be on the 34. Got it rolling, though. Props to him. And once again, under the yellow flag. Tell you what, why don't we take another quick step away for a minute or so, and we'll be back in just a moment.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Still under our 6th caution flag of the night. Colby Wells, your leader. Rucci in second. Jack Fulch in third. Spencer Ray, Jacob Noyes, Robert Pantgill all came down into pit road. And well, we've managed to catch up to one of the drivers that unfortunately found himself a bit earlier than he might like. Frank Flores, you were collected in that very first caution, and you probably would have been fine. And then you got clotheslined by another driver that was also the progress of wrecking. Why don't you walk us through what that looked like from your end?
Not good, honestly. Well, I was coming out of two, and I seen that the 23 was behind me. He came up and just basically got my quarter panel, spun out. Couldn't do nothing, tried not to hit the wall, and then next thing I know, I got just slammed hard and it just took me out. I had a toe up. My race was over. Whole strategy, everything was gone at this point.
Well, I think so far, your teammates, they're doing all right. Robert Pattingill just got collected again, but for the most part, you seem to have a pretty solid outfit behind you guys. You had a very good outing over at Daytona 1 week ago. Do you guys have any goals for that Shake and Bake team about where you want to find?
Well, I'd like to finish somewhere. Be nice to finish up in the top 10. I think we got some. With Robert and Nathaniel, we got some. My teammates are very good drivers, and I like to see myself up there in that top 10. I know we can do it. This stuff here, an incident happened. It's part of racing. So we had a bad day today. We'll move on to next week.
I guess speaking of next week then, what's your thoughts on Bristol? It's very different compared to the last few races that we were at throughout all of this year so far.
Bristol, it's going to probably be another high caution thing, I would imagine. We got some great drivers here in this league, and they're very aggressive. So, only thing I think my strategy would be with Bristol is to just try to keep it clean till the end, really. That's all you can do. Avoid the wrecks and hope for the best.
Can't argue with that. Before I let you go, then here, Frank, anybody you'd like to shout out for your Shake and Bake number 3?
Yeah, I will shout out to Tucson Sound Off for sponsoring me. Robert Patgill, my teammate, and Nathaniel Ames, you for broadcasting this, and of course this league, the On My Screen Racing League.
Now you got it right that time.
I did, because I'm reading it.
All right, thanks for joining us here, Frank. Best of luck next week.
All right, thanks, Nolan.
So with that, we are now going to be back in the mix of things as we get set to go back green flag racing. And we are back green flag racing as Colby Wells takes us to it and immediately jumps down in front of teammate Jack Bulge. Both drivers break clear of Rucci as we blaze back down the back straightaway, and this is where it could get a bit more hectic. The back straightaway has not been kind to a lot of drivers on these restarts. Wilson throws it in, and he's going to turn Jason Green. Look out, Green sliding out, and he's going to save it, but the caution is out nonetheless. Trying to look throughout the field, see if we got anybody else that got hooked. I don't think we did. But what a save by Jason Green. And we will ride on board with Green down the back straightaway. Gets hooked. A little bit of help by Wilson to straighten it up, but he's going to get that thing saved. I tell you what, that could have been a heck of a lot worse, and I'm amazed that that went as well as it did. And we didn't see more drivers collected in this 90-degree angle. That would be why the yellow flag came out, but what a save by Jason Green. I guess while we're at it, we will give another shout-out to Two Girls and a Leaf for sponsoring this second race of the OMSRL XFinity Series at Michigan. From the start, Two Girls and a Leaf has been committed to providing top-quality products, the best customer care, and fun informational CBD parties. They are proud to be one of the original Marysville, Washington-based CBD-infused product brands that has helped them start the local CBD movement. They stand by the extraordinary benefits and huge potential of everything that they offer. Visit twogirlsandaleaf.com to experience the rewards for yourself. Under caution for now the 7th time tonight. Once again, wish we would have been able to get the chance to speak with our good friend Jason Green there, but don't seem like we're going to be able to dial him up, which is a mighty big shame. I mean, he has been doing a solid time. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some green flag laps in. I'd like to see this race go green to the end, but I think it's safe to say that fuel strategy out the window. It's been a roller coaster of a race so far, and Matt Rucci still finds himself hanging around in 3rd place. It's like a rundown through your order, actually. You got Wells first, Bulch second, Rucci is 3rd. For there you got your Stage 1 winner and last week's winner, Michael Kenner. Here you got Hamilton, Musati, Thrower, Morton, Peterson, and Kaiser to round out the top 10. Then you got Cherry, Brody, Jenks, Welzenbach, Green, Peterson, Cordall, Deal, Prenger, Noyes, Ames, and Wilson. Munson and Pangel are both in pit road. Spencer Ray just left pit road. He's in 25th. And that just leaves Carson Hill, who is out of the race, as a matter of fact. And he joins the likes of Ryan Dingler, Kyle Green, and Frank Flores. Lights out aboard the iRacing pace car. By now I have a feeling that a lot of these drivers' tires are going to be getting a little bit cold. I mean, we have not made one green flag run in some time here. So this could get a bit interesting to see how this will play out. Here's a look at your pit strategies. If anybody's going to have to come in, it would be your top 6 that pitted 4 laps earlier than everybody else so far in this field. .30 laps to go this time by. Logan Hamilton closing up to the field. That's going to cause a checkup, though. This could be problematic as drivers try to get bunched up. Matt Rucci jumped the gun, gives a bit of a bump to Colby Wells, and we're back to green. Once again, the good news is everybody on track so far is on the lead lap, so there's no problem with having to contend with lap cars, for now at least. Onto the back straightaway. Still double file for a good chunk of this field. Matt Rucci going for 2nd place on Jack Balch. He'll go to the inside of the 23 TI Racing Chevrolet, and he's through. Now going to try to run down Colby Wells for the lead. Logan Hamilton is in the thick of this as well. He wants in on the battle while they're starting to get tight in the back. This could get risky. Peterson getting delayed. Oh, he's going to get squeezed in. The 54 car also having to scramble. That was Matt Cherry. Bear Morton is also in the fray. Got Brendan Jenks, Sean Kaiser, and Welzenbach also in here. And Nate Brody rounds off this very heavy train. And I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a caution. It's going to come from this group right here. They are just going at it at the moment. Nobody wants to give anybody an inch out there on the racetrack. Oh, and a couple of drivers getting a bit tight there. Brandon Jenks had to come off the wall, and that scared Sean Kaiser just a touch, but Looks like we're going to be in the clear for now. Brandon Jenks running the top lip there, trying to make sure that the DuPont Chevrolet can't make a move out of the corner. And I think now we can finally get ourselves settled into a little bit more of a calmer rhythm here as the 54 car pushing up. Oh, he's going to get into the thrower. Throws in the wall. Here we go. Wrecking again. The 54 going around. Oh, a huge hit for Barrett Morton. Barrett Morton just killed the inside wall in a huge way. Good grief. 8th yellow flag on the night, and that one came when Hunter Thrower got up and in to the outside wall. These guys just cannot catch a break. Gonna look at this wreck here. There's thrown to the outside wall. Morton got clipped by the 54 when he slid down, hit the wall in exactly the wrong place, and that rebounded them right up. My, oh my. Will we get a green flag run? It's starting to look like maybe no. Here you see the 54 car, and don't think anybody else got involved in that, and they did not. Once again, under the yellow flag, now only 23 drivers left out there on the race course. Tough break for a lot of the drivers out there so far. This will bring a good number of the drivers down onto pit road as, apologies for the very brief technical difficulties, Musati leads them down, and he will take a good chunk of drivers with him, including Matt Rucci, who is going to be taking a set of tires. Bear Morton is back out onto the racetrack, and will be coming on down into pit road this time by definitely the driver that took the hardest hit so far in this one. And we'll wait to see what this will be for Morton. I don't think he's a lap down, and no, he's not, which is a very lucky thing that he isn't, consider how hard of an impact he took. Thank goodness these guys do have access to that one quick repair. Otherwise, that would have been 30 minutes of repairs. He would have been out of this race for sure. Well, we'll see if we can try to get a hold of the number 9 car. Bear Morton joins us up here in the broadcast booth. And Barrett, what a heck of a hit. And I think you can thank your lucky stars you still had that fast repair in your back pocket.
Yeah, I told my guys at Danica Patrick that back wall there. Man, I had the cleanest car the entire race until that happened. It's upsetting because the guy that took blame for it says there's nothing you can do whenever your car gets tight. Yeah, you can definitely let off the throttle. I saw it coming a mile away. I couldn't avoid that one, man. But it is what it is. We're going to try to get back up there.
Well, so far, it seems like a good chunk of your crew has been having themselves a solid outing tonight. You had a decent showing as well at Daytona just 1 week ago. Do you think this is potentially good tidings for the rest of your season?
I sure hope so. With the competition that's in this league, it's going to be really hard. It's going to take some good luck to finish up front, but if we can keep the strategy right, I think we'll be okay.
And before we let you go then here, Barrett, just wanted to get that brief chit-chat with you here after that, but anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you get back to work?
Yeah, Wax Marina, Sergeant Junket, my teammates at All-American Motorsports, and Ryan Dingler for making this awesome paint scheme. And then you, of course, Nolan.
Thank you, Bear, for taking the time to join us up here. Best of luck throughout the rest of this race.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
There's Bear Morton, driving the number 9 car, as he said. Danica Patrick it into the inside wall there. And has some choice words for the driver that ran him over after he got tight into the outside wall. So I think it's safe to say there are some tempers starting to flare. We saw almost no caution at Daytona, and we're certainly making up for that here in Michigan. Back to green flag racing. Hamilton caught napping on the outside line. And all the while, Rucci, 4 wide on the bottom. This is going to get tight. Look out as drivers are scrambling left, right, and center. Jacob Noyes in the middle of 4 wide now on the top side. He's also with the 54. Oh, and there we go. The 31 of Welzenbach going around. Caution is out, and that's the wall. Did his best there to try and save it. Wasn't happening. What an effort, though, for Welzenbach. He did everything he could have done there, tried to back it down as best as he could, pushes up, gets into Ames, knocks into Noise and full tire lock, but there's just nothing you can do in that situation. That is just an unfortunate series of events. Tally up one more, and we are well on the road to double digits at this point in time. And still with over 20 laps left to go as well. I mean, this is going to be one heck of a race if what we've seen so far is anything to go by. And still everybody that's out on track on the lead lap. Sean Deal makes a trip into pit road. He'll take in with him several drivers, including Ames, Wilson, Brody, Thrower, Munson, Kaiser, Peterson, Green, Pattingill, Ray, and Welzenbach being an obvious candidate there. Up on the jacks for the number 44 car. He will like to get off and away here quickly afterwards. While all of this is going on, and we're waiting to see how this will shake up for those drivers down on pit road. We haven't had a chance to really talk to any of the TI crew so far throughout tonight's race, and well, why don't we check in with your race leader, Colby Wells joins us up here now. How's it going out there for you?
Hey, this very nerve-wracking. I'm not sure what to do on fuel here, or how the yellows are going to fall, and it's just a game of numbers right now, and we'll see how it goes.
Usually people like cautions because it helps make strategy a little bit easier, but with all the ones we've had, it sounds like it might have actually been more of a detriment to you.
Yeah, with those guys pitting right there, I'm still not 100% sure if they can make it to the end, and then I'm trying to either save enough fuel to make it if we have this many yellows, or either pit if we go for 6 laps, and it's just a lot going on right now, but hopefully it'll go a TI Racing guys' way. You know, me and Jack have been up front here for a while, and, you know, per the yellows, but, you know, it's good to get some TV time.
Well, Matt Rucci was flying up from behind you guys, and he was probably going to be all over you in a couple of laps. That yellow flag had to come out. Do you and Jack think you'll be able to defend against the Badger Racing driver?
Without tires, probably not. Like I said, I hope we just go about 8 laps, then we'll come in and get tires, then hope and work our way up through the field. But we're sitting ducks if we go green for more than 8.
Well, best of luck for you then out there. Before I let you go, anybody you'd like to shout out for your TI Racing Chevrolet?
I just got to thank TI Racing, Chris Lewis, Asheville Rooftop Bar Tours. Thank you for everything y'all do for us, and it helps us tremendously, so appreciate it. Thank you for putting on the broadcast.
And thank you for taking the time out of what has been a very busy race to join us. Best of luck. Colby Wells Still your race leader with now 20 laps to go, and at this point on his way to lead to the most laps so far in this race. 23 drivers out on the racetrack, and Jason Green just leaving the lane. He will ensure he stays on the lead lap. $20 to go. Your top 5 looks to be Wells, Bulch, Hamilton, Pringer, and Rucci. But you saw how aggressive Rucci was on the initial jump there, so we'll see if he'll be able to power through and take the race lead away. It's about to get spicy up here at Michigan. Field's all bunching up. Once again, coordinated launch from both lanes as Wells takes us back to green. Hamilton pushing up from the bottom as Jack Bulch crosses over his teammate down the back straightaway, making the move for the race lead. So TI Racing not wanting to go bump tracking for the time being, but Wells going to stay out in front as he really sends it in on the top shelf. But here comes Rucci and Hamilton, both drivers charging up with a huge head of steam deeper in the background. And Rucci is going to be looking to make that move quickly here to go through for the race lead. He has the advantage on tires. He cannot let that go to waste. Side by side with TI Racing up on the top shelf of Colby Wells, who we just talked to. We mentioned he was going to be a sitting duck if a caution didn't come out here quickly, and sure enough, sitting ducks they are. Rucci is through to third. Going to be trying to make the lunge for second place here to get around Jack Bulch as well. Whoa, and a big checkup there for Jack Bulch. Almost got run over by Colby Wells, his own teammate. Hamilton cycles to the race lead for one of the first times all season long. But if I know Rucci, he is not about to let that stand. There's one place that 88 car likes to be, and it's up in front. But looks like Logan Hamilton might be able to gain the upper hand for the time being. You can really see just how spread apart everything is becoming as you look at the field coming off of turns 1 and 2. That is all the cars with damage that are really being hampered here for the time being. Going to look back to the battle for third as Matt Cherry is looking underneath Wells and Pringer trying to make a move on Bulch as well. Rucci side by side with Hamilton to the inside of turn 1. Can he make this one stick? Trying to push up from the bottom. It's so easy to get loose and wash up. And it's going to be a dead heat down that back straightaway. Rucci at the door. And he's through. Matt Rucci finally through to the race lead. Hamilton thinking about going over under though, and he's going to have the draft. He's looking to the bottom. That's going to be a bold move. Rucci tried to cover him off. It wasn't happening. So Logan Hamilton going to go back to the point as they start to battle side by side for the race lead with 14 to go. Rucci's backing off. He's trying to set up a pass outside line. You can really rip that top lane if you know what you're doing, and that is one thing Rucci certainly does know is he's going to pull around the outside of Logan Hamilton's Monster Energy Supra, and Now it'll be Rucci's turn to try to go for the crossover. That's dragged Matt Cherry into the fray in this three-way scrap for the lead. And Rucci's tires might be starting to fall off here a little bit, as you can see Cherry threading the needle to the bottom side, but Rucci will still have that upper hand up on the top shelf. But it's not going to be enough. Hamilton clears for the time being. So we'll check in on some of the battles a little bit deeper. How about this for 3 wide? Musati on top, both TRE screws on the bottom, and Hamilton's pitting. We just talked about Logan Hamilton battling, and now he is in a pit road. Meanwhile, they were 3 wide out of turn number 4. The caution that TI Racing desperately needs is not coming. Wells finds a hold, blocks the 51 as well. That's going to send Morton to the bottom. And is that going to be clear? I think it might just be. Wells completes a defense. Prenger's going up to the top end, and there goes TI Racing. Pitting on in along with Matt Cherry. Whoa! Wells locking it up on the entry, but is able to hang on. What a roller coaster race it's been. Very up and down for a lot of drivers in this field. Watching Peterson, Morton, Prenger at the moment in the battle for 3rd place. It's more like the battle for 4th here, as you can see other drivers now getting themselves mixed up in all of this. It's not just those 5. Look at Sean Deal puttering along in 7th. He's trying to make a move on Nate Brody. Deal's been having a very quiet race so far. He's been just kind of sitting in the back, biding his time, letting everybody make the mistakes in front of him. Still is one of the few drivers that has a completely clean race car. And at this rate, he might be set for a top 5 here pretty soon. To the inside of Prenger. Will this be a pass complete through turn number 4? And in fact, it is, and that was actually for 5th place. Now wants to make the move on Bear Morton as well. TI Racing's crew has pulled out in front of the race leaders, and they are now going to be able to set running this field down with 10 laps to go, though I don't think they're going to get there nearly in time. Deal is up to 4th now. Oh, and there's a huge block to the bottom for Prenger. Looks to the inside of Morton. He's through, trying to make the move on Deal as well. At this point, nobody has wanted to really hang around, and I think a lot of the drivers have found themselves out of the fight as Nate Brody clips the wall. And the 51 car is going to be pitted in this time, so Prenger could not make it to the end. Will we be seeing fuel mileage again? I would highly doubt it, but it honestly would not surprise with how crazy of a race we've had and the huge multitude of pit strategies that have been going on up and down throughout this field. There's a good angle of all the different ones so far as we go 3 wide once again with a 97 pulling around on the outside lane. Robert Peterson on the move while Bear Morton tries to defend against Stage 1 winner Michael Kenner. Brody's just hanging around, biding this time, just letting this race come to him. Take a look deeper in the field. Robert Pattengale was collected in a couple of crashes earlier today, but he's got a clean race car, and he's now all the way up in 12th. And right behind Nathaniel Ames, battling for 11th, with Justin Wilson also tucked in line behind. One of the B&H drivers, it's a very scattered B&H field so far. Jacob Noyes also collected in an incident, is in the mix of this, but he is a lap down, so this is not for position. This could get a bit interesting if Noyes interrupts this battle for 11th. Pangale's going to move up, though, and I think he's just going to let Noyes have that one there. Didn't want to take much of a risk battling with somebody a lap down that you know is faster than you. It's smart. Getting up and out of the way. You know the guy is going to be quicker than you. Why fight him? Clip to the wall for Wilson, and also one behind for Kevin Cordall. We'll let Jason Green into the mix. On board with the driver out of Altoona, Indiana, Grant Peterson for Badger Racing. Fighting it out for third place, or he is in third place, but he started to lose touch to the top two. His Badger Racing teammates, it is looking to be a Badger 1-2-3 the way things sit, which, boy, wouldn't that be something for that crew after all the trials and tribulations that have befallen this field throughout the course of the day. As Robert Peterson fighting it out with Michael Kenner. This is for second place. Make that fifth, excuse me. Peterson backs off into turn one. Might try to go for the switchback through two, but Kenner did a good job of keeping that car pinned to the bottom. As well as that, you've got these three drivers all scrapping it as well. Brody, Morton, and Munson. All in the mix is Colby Wells. Makes another trip down to pit road. 2 laps left to go, and if the caution doesn't come out now, then TI Racing's hopes for the second week in a row are going to be utterly dashed. Oh, that's going to get a bit tight there with the lap traffic. That's the 51 of Brad Prenger that's trying to cycle his way past your race leaders as Matt Rucci is coming around turns 3 and 4, and he's got Anthony Musatti right behind him. Now, a lot of teams aren't too big to race their teammates. Badger Racing, not one of those. Saw these guys go 3 wide in a race I was at on Friday for the race win, out of the final corner on the last lap. They don't have team friendships once that white flag drops. It is just every man for himself. So we'll see. Cam Musatti sends something on Matt Rucci, set something up for turn 3. Lap traffic going to get out of the way. Let them fight. Musatti's throwing it in. Is that enough? No, it's not. He's going to wash up and wide. Matt Rucci has his defense. Musatti had one chance, couldn't get there. Matt Rucci wins the 2 girls in a leaf, 150 at Michigan. Kenner beats out Peterson for 5th place as one by one drivers start to cycle their way across the line. What an absolute roller coaster of a race. And Kevin Cordall out of fuel. So one driver went fuel mileage, and unfortunately for Cordall, it'll be a tough race as he'll be slowly but surely crawling his way over to the start-finish line. But what a race. I mean, once again, we're kind of left just speechless. I mean, this has been a wild race. to say the very least. For Matt Rucci, though, this time he will get to do his celebratory burnouts on the front straightaway, taking a well-deserved race win here at the Michigan International Speedway for the Two Girls in Leaf 150, and he will start his third straight title defense properly, capping off a win in the second race on the season. Taking a look at your official post-race results from today. Matt Rucci winning the race by a quarter of a second over Anthony Mussatti with Grant Peterson in third. Sean Deal is fourth. Michael Kenner was fifth with Robert Peterson in sixth. Kyle Munson seventh. Bear Morton was eighth. Dave Brody was ninth. Sean Kaiser was 10th. Nathaniel Ames will sit in 11th with Robert Patgill in 12th. Justin Wilson in 13th. Jason Green 14th. Spencer Ray is 15th. Hunter Thoreau is 16th. Logan Hamilton is 17th. With Matt Cherry down in 18th. And that will leave Jack Bulch, Colby Wells, Kevin Cordall as the last drivers on the lead lap. From there you had Brad Prenger, Jacob Noyes, and Matthew Welzenbach finishing laps down. Drivers that did not finish this race were Brendan Jenks, Carson Hill, Ryan Dingler, Kyle Green, and Frank Flores, with Brandon Alphin rounding out the field after he did not make the call for the starting grid. What a race. I mean, holy cow. Once again, we are just left wondering how on earth this has managed to transpire, and we will see if we can't dial up your race two winner. Matt Rucci, first win of the season. I think now you can really start that third title defense.
Yeah, I mean, do we count that as a fuel mileage? I mean, I crossed the line with 0.2 gallons, but, I guess it is. So, 3 for 3 now with fuel mileage races in this league. So it's been more strategy than racing, it felt like there. Felt like we weren't going to get any racing midway through that race. But, I believe we're locked into the chase, so we're going to make a run at it.
And one driver did run out of fuel, so we'll count that as a fuel mileage race. It's close enough. But you mentioned that it almost looked like we weren't going to be getting a whole lot of green flag races, and that kind of trapped you in third place there for a majority of this race. Why don't you kind of walk us through what was kind of going through your mind when we had that huge string of cautions after the stage break?
I mean, the target goal was to make it to lap 55 since we can only make it about 20 laps on fuel. So everyone was just, doing their thing, and then I guess they just kept trying to gain 12 positions on the restart or whatever they're doing back there, and they kept wrecking each other. So it was a little bit frustrating, nobody enjoyed it through that middle part, but we got a green flag run there at the end, which was pretty fun.
So capping off the not only a race win for you, but it's a Badger 1-2-3, so I imagine that's going to feel very good for not just you, but the team as well. And do you reckon this is the start of what will be your team's defense of the team's championship title from last year?
Yeah, I mean, we run good every week. We got some good drivers. We for sure have a chance at it, going back at it again.
And, well, before I let you go then here, Matt, anybody you'd like to shout out for that Badger Racing 88?
Yep. Like always, Badger Racing, we help each other throughout the race with strategy and all that. So thanks to them.
Thank you, Matt, for taking the time to join us here tonight. Congratulations on a race win. Best of luck next week in Bristol.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was Matt Rucci joining us up here for a really brief chat after winning the race. As he said, almost ran out of fuel himself. Probably would have been able to make it one more lap. We'll continue our way down the order in the Badger 1-2-3, and this time we'll dial up the second-place driver, Anthony Mussatti, joins us up now in the broadcast booth. Anthony, how's it going out for you out there so far?
Oh, one spot away from feeling a lot better, but that was overall was a good race.
Yeah, I saw you really try to throw it in there under turn number 3. Didn't quite go all your way, though. Why don't you kind of walk us through what it was like? Because I know you guys take the philosophy of once that checker or once that white flag's out, all bets are off.
Yeah, I was trying to get him just to get him loose, but with these cars, I started pushing up, so I didn't want to accidentally hit him too hard and then spin him out and wreck both our races. So other than that, I was right on the edge of fuel, kind of pitted, I think, 2 cautions before the final caution, or probably caution before the final caution, and that was able to get us like right there on the edge. So I think I had like 0.2 gallons when I was crossing the start finish line. So I had to save for a little bit, and then once I knew I was in the green, I started charging. I just ran out of laps. So.
Well, you ran out of laps tonight, but there's going to be a lot more laps coming on up at Bristol in 1 week's time. What's your thoughts as we get set to slow things down to go short track racing?
I'm just gonna pray. Just pray to God. That's about all it is at short track. It's kind of like super speedway. It's either gonna be hit or miss. It's gonna be a lot of beating and banging, or it's actually gonna be good. So we'll see. We'll kind of go to next week, and we'll see how we run.
Before I let you go then here, Anthony, anybody you'd like to shout out for your Badger Racing number 49?
I'd like to shout out my teammates, Rucci, Grant. Unfortunately, Ryan, he didn't have a really good night tonight. Yeah, he got taken out pretty early. But yeah, just those guys.
And thank you for joining us up here then tonight, Anthony. Hopefully we'll be talking to you many more times throughout the course of the season, and maybe one better at Bristol in 1 week. We'll see you there.
Thank you.
That was Anthony Musatti joining us here from second place. And we'll move on to the third and final driver up here on the podium. And the final driver to cap off the Badger 1, 2, 3, Grant Peterson. You cap off the Badger podium. How's it like for you out there? You finished third.
It's way better than Friday, second by only 15 thousandths, but I felt like we ran a heck of a race, especially there at the end. We started 16th, finished third there, so I'm pretty proud of myself right there.
Kind of walk us through the race as a whole, because I know Badger Racing was kind of all over the place at times. Some points you were further back, sometimes you were up in front, you were off cycle, then you were on cycle. All the cautions didn't help. What was just the general vibe, I guess, in your team throughout the entirety of tonight's race?
Really, it was just kind of playing it by ear. We were gambling, hoping that whenever we stayed out, that it wouldn't go green, but last time we pit, or I pit, we went green from then on. And I think we worked well as a team there, as we did Friday again. Just not as to a great extent as Friday. But all around a great effort for the whole Badger Racing team. I'm proud of our guys.
And when you look at how this race shakes up in comparison to what Bristol might be next week, do you think that track more plays to the strengths of the Badger Racing team, or do you think you might have your work cut out for you next week?
I think there's a couple on the Badger team that are really, really good on the short tracks, and then there's a few that are just iffy. I'm one of the iffy. I know Ryan. I think he'll be a threat there next week, and I think Moose will be as well. And Rucci's a threat all the way around, but I think we'll be able to contend next week as well. You know, we have a strong group of guys. We work well together. We're real fast.
Now, I guess before we let you go then, anybody you'd like to shout out for Badger Racing? As probably the same people I'd imagine that the others were shouting out when I was talking to them.
You should buy a lottery ticket. Yeah, I want to thank Moose, thank Matt Rucci, Ryan for the first half of the race, and give a little shout out to Robert and a little toss there in the direction of Matt Cherry. We all worked well together there.
And thank you, Grant, for taking the time to join us here tonight. Congratulations on the third place finish. Hopefully one or even two better next week over in Bristol.
I'm hoping two better. Thank you.
Well, that will wrap up then our podium drivers, and that is honestly going to be about a wrap then for us here from the Michigan International Speedway. What a night. I mean, just what a night. You had one chaotic race in terms of the finish last week, and then you had the chaotic race tonight where it was everywhere else. But next week, it's going to get a little bit crazier. Bristol Motor Speedway for the Thunder Valley 200 for race number 3, the OMSRL XFinity Series, sponsored by Tucson Sounder. Once again, want to shout out Two Girls and a Leaf for sponsoring tonight's race for the OMSRL, and we will see you guys next week in Tennessee.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing SoundArt, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With sound art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about sound art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, your art never sounded so good.